U.S. right now, so let's bring in Samantha Mohr. Samantha, who's seeing the worst of this morning?
Well, we've had a lot of lightning across southeastern Texas. Zoraida and John, check out what's happening here in Corpus. We have winds gusting up to 38 miles per hour from some of the thunderstorms there in the Corpus Christi area. We have heavy rain in Jasper, Texas. And here in northwestern Mississippi, we have flood warnings. They've had 2 to 3 inches of rain in just the past 3 hours. Remember, it's very hard to see how deep that water is when it's dark, so be careful out there. And then the wintry weather wrapping around across much of Minnesota and Wisconsin. So the Twin Cities seeing that snow freezing rain mix, could end up seeing 3 to 5 inches of snow in the Twin Cities today, and all that cold air is pushing to the east, and we have that chance for severe once again across the deep south. And interestingly enough, you may think we haven't had as many tornadoes, it seems, this season. You would be right. Based on the past 6 years of data, here's the average. We should average around 325 annually, and so far we've only had 163, largely because of the very cool season we have had here, John and Zoraida. But just because we're off to a slow start doesn't mean it's going to stay slow. Things could pick up at any minute. I think today we're going to see one of those days, and that means you need to dust off the weather radios and recharge the batteries. Make sure that they're ready to go, especially overnight.
And meteorologist Samantha Mohr is watching that storm for us. What's the situation like now? I'm looking at those snow totals.
Incredible. It's moving into Missouri and Kansas right now, but look what it has left in its wake here in Aurora, Colorado. They ended up picking up some 14 inches of snow. Denver, a healthy foot. And so you know the ski resorts are going to be loving this business outside of Denver. And even in Nebraska, they picked up some 4.5 inches there. In Imperial and Wichita, Kansas picked up similar amounts as well. And everywhere marked in the purple and pink has some sort of winter weather advisory right now. Pink are the winter storm warnings. So just about a dozen states being affected by this huge winter storm. Passionately, as that cold air meets the warm air, we could see severe weather Monday in places like Goodland, Kansas. We're talking Tuesday, Tulsa. We'll be watching that in Oklahoma City. And then Wednesday in St. Louis and into Memphis, we have that slight threat for severe, could even end up being some long track tornado activity. So we'll certainly be watching that very, very closely for you as we head into the middle part of the week. Really Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Here's a setup for you. Cold front will be working its way out of the mountains after dumping heavy snow across the Wasatch and the Rockies. Jet stream takes that dip. So everything combines here for the possibility of some nasty severe weather, large hail, gusty damaging winds, and that threat for tornadoes. So Susan, we'll keep our eye on it this week.
It is abnormally cold for much of the country right now, isn't it?
Oh, we really are in winter's grasp here, Rochelle, across the eastern half of the nation as this cold air continues to settle in, even down across Florida. So those spring breakers, yeah, they're definitely going to be chilling out at the beaches today, whether they like it or not. Those cold temperatures will continue here. Atlanta will be warmer than yesterday. Yesterday, 39 degrees was the high. That is 22 degrees below average with a very brisk northwesterly wind and some flurries thrown in just for fun, right?
On your forecast, a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. What are we looking at here?
That's right, Natasha. Some 1 to 3 inches overnight in southwestern Tennessee. So flash flood warnings in place where you see the red here, including but not limited to the cities of Jackson and Riverside. Could see another 1 to 3 inches today, and that's just going to complicate the flooding situation. Lake County in the Chicagoland area, yep, we're still watching for flooding there, as well as in Fargo along the Red River, expected to hit major flood stage tomorrow and stay that way at least through the end of the week. So big problems there. They're really just getting started with their flooding season. So what we're watching now is a frontal system moving very slowly across the Tennessee Valley. That's where we'll likely see more thunderstorms today and the threat of severe weather from Memphis in through Shreveport and all the way down into the Big Bend region of Texas. We have the chance for some isolated tornadoes, strong gusty damaging winds, and large hail.
Any relief in sight?
Well, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a long day in Boston, Don, because the snow is coming down. It's being reported as heavy snow at this hour with those north winds close to 20. So it's blowing that snow around, and it is accumulating all across New England. Not so much in New York City. I think that will be the scenario there as it turns to rain and things taper off. But here's the scenario with that low out to sea and all this moisture. This is the water vapor satellite imagery. It's a great tool to show us where all that moisture is entrenched in these bands. Could run into some hail here today as well, and we do have that threat for some isolated tornadoes. All the ingredients are in place. Warm, moist air coming in off the Gulf, cold air moving in out of the plains, and then an upper level jet stream. That just causes a void in the atmosphere. That air rushes in to fill it, and we get lift, and lift is a bad thing, especially this time of year season. We can get some strong thunderstorms, so we'll watch that for you. Los Angeles, a little on the drizzly side today. Much sunnier and warmer in Phoenix, where we should reach 89 degrees today. But we were talking about that big trough moving into the west. That's going to be a game changer here for many folks. Denver will be dropping down to probably the upper 20s by the time we get to Wednesday. So that's some 40 degrees colder than yesterday, Natasha.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
Big line. Now, as we compare that to our American model, it's looking like these two are coming together a little bit more. And when you have models in agreement, generally it is makes for a better forecast. So we do see that low working its way right up the coastline as we head into the middle of the week, which could bring some very heavy snow, gusty winds. Once again, a coastal low situation, which could bring heavy snow and cause some real travel troubles here across our nation's capital and potentially into the Northeast once we get into Thursday. So we'll definitely be watching this scenario as that plays out, Rochelle.
Yes, we will.